Good evening, everyone. I'm going to give everyone just a couple of more minutes, or actually one more minute, to get situated, get ready. I am looking forward. Good evening, everyone. I am looking forward to helping everyone with an incredible opportunity. My name is Gabe Pearson, and I'll have the formal introduction in a minute or so. I'll just give you 30 more seconds. Okay, let's get started. I see 9 p.m. Eastern time. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabe Pearson. I am live on Facebook and Zoom from Jacksonville, Florida. I have been with this incredible company now nearly 12 years. So it's been an incredible run. I'm looking forward to sharing my story and this company's incredible opportunity with all of you tonight. I want to welcome all the guests that are on tonight. I'm excited for all of you. I'm excited for all the brand new distributors with LifeVantage. What I was told to do listening to these incredible webinars like this was to have something to write with and write on. There's a good possibility that I might share some information with you that you can use 12 years from now, like you're going to hear from me that I heard 12 years from now. My story is I have been in the fitness business for over 30 years. I have never endorsed a product. I started out in the health club industry, making $2.13 an hour plus commissions. And my dreams were to have health clubs all over the country and literally, folks, make millions and millions of dollars. Fast forward 20 years, I own 3 large health clubs in Jacksonville, certainly not complaining. But what I learned in those 20 years is I was creating millionaires, and I wasn't one of them. Simply because I didn't own the property that those 3 gyms were on. I didn't own the leasing company or the finance company. So I got out of the health club industry, started my own personal training company, and it quickly morphed into a wellness company. You can say we're living the American dream. I'm developing wellness programs for large corporations here in Jacksonville. And what happened in this country in 2009? That economic debacle had everything come crushing on top of us. We lost 3 6-figure contracts in 30 days, literally brought us to our knees. You can say that we were on the wall of worry, okay? We went from 18 employees down to 5, a beautiful office with 4 admin people, to my home being the office and my lovely bride, Jill, being my only admin person. But it's really interesting, when one door is starting to close, another one was opening. So I'm hoping for all of you guests that are on tonight, this door is opening for all of you. I got a phone call and I was asked to be a keynote speaker in Atlanta. And I went up there to try to drum up new business. I'm speaking to a large corporate group about what I do. And after my keynote, a complete stranger. Now, this is for the distributors. My enroller, this distributor, was only 1 week old and had the courage to walk up to me and ask me if I've ever heard of a product called Protandem. And at that moment, if there wasn't 8 to 10 people waiting in line to speak to me behind her, I most likely would have turned around and walked away from her. Thank goodness that I didn't. I just never endorsed a product. In that particular moment, this one wasn't going to be the first. But the next thing that came out of that woman's mouth literally gave me and my family the opportunity to walk away from a 30-year career in just 22 months. So tonight's presentation is about the opportunity. It's all about, I am going to be talking about lifestyle and income. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay, and before I get started, I have to do this. LifeVantage does not guarantee any income or rank success. We all know in all businesses, success depends on individual diligence, work ethic, right? These statements that I'm going to be talking to all of you tonight about have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products do not, operative word is not, intend to cure, treat, prevent, mitigate any disease. So I want to talk about the opportunity. I want to talk about where this company started. And before I get started, I want all of you that are guests tonight, understand something that was taught to me 12 years ago. You can change your life by simply changing your choices. And tonight's presentation will give you that opportunity. And I want you to be thinking about some of these questions that I wrote down just before I came on tonight, okay? For those of you that this is pertinent to, are you on pace to retire? All right. Or are you looking for some retirement help? Are you looking for a side hustle? You know, what we call a second stream of income to maybe start, you know, doing away with some of that credit card debt or debt that you've accumulated? Or how about trying to pay off some student loans or college loans, or maybe putting some money away to have, you know, college tuition, you know? Or how about putting some money away for your retirement, right? Getting ahead of the game. Or about buying a home or a second home that you've always wanted, you know, on the water, something like that. So that's what tonight is all about. It's about hopes and it's about dreams. Now, when I started, I never thought in a million years that I would still be with this company 12 years later. When I got started 12 years ago, I got involved with this business simply because I couldn't find a reason not to do it. And I'll share that story with you a little bit later on. But it was all about keeping my kids in private school. I just wanted to make $2,200 a month. So I didn't have to go to my 9-year-old and 6-year-old and look at them right square between the eyes and says, Mommy and Daddy doesn't have the money for you to go to Riverside Presbyterian Day School. That wasn't going to happen on my watch. And that was our why we got started. 12 years later, our why is all about making an impact and connecting with people all over the world. So I want to start where this company started. So this lady asked me if I'd be willing to watch a 9-minute video on an ABC primetime investigative report. And I remember saying this to her sarcastically. You mean to tell me that ABC News, they actually did a positive spin on a dietary supplement? I've got to see it. I've just never seen that before, right? So you can see on the screen, that's John Quinones. And if you haven't seen this ABC primetime news piece, when this webinar is over with, just you can go to, you know, YouTube and just type in ABC primetime LifeVantage. And what's the ABC primetime update? So I watched that video, and the precise moment this world-renowned scientist, which by the way, never heard of before, gives John Quinones his blood test results. I remember elbowing my wife, and I'm like, honey, that hasn't happened yet. That's history in the making. And if we can validate this, we might be onto something. So I was in the works with the Mayo Clinic here in Jacksonville. I've never endorsed a product before. So I went to the Mayo Clinic doctors and asked them one question. I go, if you're going to put your precious name on a product, where would you go to validate it? Not one of them sent me to Google. They all sent me to the National Institutes of Health. And they said, Gabe, just go to the website, pub, short for public, med, short for medical.gov, and type in the name of the product in the search bar. If you get a hit, we want to know a little bit more about it. Long short of it, when they validated this product, I checked the validity box. I didn't go to prestigious medical schools, or I wasn't employed by one of the most prestigious hospitals in the world. I just knew how to get people in shape. So I just thought to myself, it was good enough for them. I don't need to validate what's already been validated. And I went and learned how to become a professional in this business. And I can tell you 22 months later, we had the choice to walk away from. So what I want you to understand, this award-winning scientist has spent the majority of his life trying to figure out how to reduce bad guys, right? And in 1969, he discovered a good guy in our body that did just that, eliminate bad guys. And because of that discovery, he's in the same company as Madame and Pierre Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, Henry Ford, Orville Wright, this scientist. So as I was thinking about this, I'm thinking, my goodness, he has changed the course of how we think, the course of humanity. So he spent his entire career devoted to fighting the effects of what we call free radical damage. The new buzzword in this space is called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress has nothing to do with emotional stress. It's how and why we age on a cellular level, and it's a major contributing factor of how we get diseases. It's all about aging. And he discovered our little yellow activator. It is called Protandim, which is an NRF2 activator. It was born and launched in 2003. So from 2003 to 2009, you would have to go to a GNC store or a CVS pharmacy to be able to buy this. But because the layperson didn't know what oxidative stress is, it had an extremely hard time getting off the store shelves. Stock dropped all the way down to 17 cents. And that was after that ABC primetime news piece, which it skyrocketed the stock, and we literally sold out over $5 million worth of this incredible little activator. The problem was it only aired once and people forgot. So the company hired a consultant. The consultant sees this ABC primetime news piece, puts all the pieces of the puzzle together, says, my goodness, take it out of the retail world and put it in the oldest form of marketing, word of mouth. It just needs a story attached to it. And that is what put this company on the map with the help of that ABC primetime news piece. Our company, LifeVantage, is publicly traded, and there are all kinds of prestigious universities and medical centers and journals that are studying this. Let's talk about the problem, oxidative stress. Every human being has it, because what I want you to understand is what sustains you in life, I don't want to scare you, actually takes it away. How many of us are breathing right now? Right? If you're not breathing, I think we have a bigger problem than oxidative stress, right? So oxidative stress is like rusting from the inside out. And the best analogy that I can give you is what happens when you cut an apple in half? What happens in about 20 minutes? The air gets to it, it oxidizes, right? That's exactly what's happening to all of us. And it really doesn't start happening until we're 20 years old. The first 20 years of life, we're growing. We're not aging. When you hit 20 is when you start aging. So how many people do you know that breathe? How many people do you know that eat? How many people do you know that's out in the sun? By the way, there is an opportunity. I want you to have your entrepreneurial hat on. Every single person needs something to reduce oxidative stress. And this company is the only company and product that has that. So think about that from a business standpoint. So how many people that are out in the sun, that were around, environmental toxins, how about Wi-Fi? How about, 4G and 5G? I can go on and on and on and on. The older that we are, the higher the oxidative stress levels are. It's when we're young, we have an overabundance of good guys. And as we age, the good guys start to head south. So when you have nothing, hardly anything protecting you, the bad guys go north. What this is oxidative stress. And what our product unequivocally does, and you're not going to be able to disprove it, it's peer reviewed, is this. So I'm 60 years old. If you take my blood right now and we go Find a 30-year-old, someone half my age, and take their blood and we compare it under a microscope. My blood is actually 10 years younger than the 30-year-old. So the $64,000 question is, what does that mean? When you have a 60-year-old has the amount of good guys in their body when they were 20. Well, think about how you slept. Think about how you recovered. Think about your energy, right? That's what we're talking about, folks. It is a category creating product that nobody has. This is what can happen when there's uncontrolled levels of oxidative stress. I mean, look at the heart, the skin, the kidneys, all your organs, joints, lungs, brains, immune system, blood vessels, eyes, all that is tied in with oxidative stress. And there isn't anything out there that can reduce it, only fight it, okay? So until LifeVantage, there was no solution to effectively lower oxidative stress. No amounts of fruits and vegetables and vitamins or any kind of potions or tablets would help protect our bodies against the assault of free radical damage. That's the opportunity. This is our category creating product, Protandim. And in peer-reviewed studies, it's proven unequivocally to lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. So if you haven't heard of oxidative stress, you can go to the National Institutes of Health and in the search bar, type in oxidative stress. You're going to find over 220,000 studies. And what you're going to find, there's a connection between how and why we age and a major contributing factor of how we get diseases. Okay. So what I want you to understand, there was a study by the National Institutes on Aging that increased the median lifespan of male mice by 7%. The only time ever a product has been able to categorically prove to slow down that aging process. What is Protandim? It's the synergy of 5 ingredients, and the operative word is synergy. I'm sure some of you have heard of curcumin or turmeric, anti-inflammatory, milk thistle, which detoxifies the liver. We've all heard of green tea. It's a thermogenic, it's anti-cancer, right? And by the way, these are extracts, the most potent part of that plant. Bacopa and ashwagandha is an Ayurvedic. And if you don't know what Ayurvedic means, it's science of life. Bacopa is all about mental clarity and focus. Can you use a little bit of that? And ashwagandha is all about brain health, memory, and things like that. Now, yes, all of us could go to a spice store and buy them individually. And by the way, it would cost more money than it would taking one of those little yellow activators. But let's say for sake of saying that you went and bought all 5 of those extracts and you took them individually, you would not get the process and you would not get the benefits of what this product does. This is a peer-reviewed study that shows the synergy of all 5 increases gene expression 18-fold. So simply what that means, it's 1,800% more powerful than taking turmeric by itself or green tea by itself. Individually, they're insignificant. And that's how and why we have patents behind that. So again, category creating. Now here is, I can stop my presentation after this because when I heard this, I was ready to get started and I was ready to share this with the world because I had no clue. We all have heard of antioxidants, right? Blueberries, strawberries, oranges, broccoli, vitamin C, beta carotene, coffee, chocolate. I can go on and on and on and on. And by the way, we are not saying that we don't need them in our diet, okay, from a vitamin mineral standpoint. What I'm trying to share with you right now is something that's monumentally more important than vitamins and minerals. And I'm talking about slowing down the aging process by 40%. And this is precisely what I mean. The benefits of eating oranges or drinking, pomegranate juice or swallowing a vitamin C tablet. When your body absorbs it, it releases a good guy. And that good guy has one function, to find a bad guy. And when they find each other, they bind together and they're both destroyed. Think of it like this. It's a one and done process. Just the length of time that I've been talking and all of you have been breathing, we've made hundreds of millions of bad guys. So what is one going to do? It would be equivalent to this. Think about the building that you're in right now, and the building is your body, and the building's on fire. Fire is oxidative stress. And Gabe comes to the rescue and pours a Dixie cup full of water on the house fire. Hate to tell you, your home's coming down, or the building that you're in is coming down. We've known this for 60 years. You cannot eat, drink, or swallow enough direct antioxidants to offset those millions and millions of bad guys, right? What I want to share with you, this little yellow activator is not, operative word is not an antioxidant. It's an activator, an NRF2 activator. It flips a switch in your body and it tells your body to do what it was meant to do for the first 20 years of life. And that's make more good guys. So antioxidant enzymes are completely different than antioxidants. So the difference is this: when you take this product, it flips on the pathway, and now your body's making glutathione. Glutathione, or SOD, and the world-renowned scientists discovered it back in 1969. When our God-given good guy binds to the bad guy, listen to me very carefully, this is it. Only the bad guy dies. What was created by the man upstairs that's inside our cell, like glutathione, it works like a catalyst. It promotes the reaction of getting rid of. So one of those good guys that's created by the man upstairs that's inside our cells neutralizes or eliminates 1 million bad guys per second. Every second, 24 hours a day for 11 straight days. So I ask you a simple question, folks. What team do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the one and done team, or do you want to be on the 1 in 1 million per second team? We want you, the guests that are listening to me right now, we want you to shout that of the mountaintops, right? To everyone that you love and care for. We are first in this nutrigenomic space. Nutris foods, and genomic is gene expression. So yes, it turns up good genes and turns down bad genes. So this product is unlike anything else out there. So think about this from a business standpoint. Think about what you do for a living. What if there's no competition? I've been with this company nearly 12 years, and even today, 12 years later, not one person can walk up to me and says, "Hey, Gabe, with all due respect, my product does what yours does." Stand alone. So imagine whatever business that you're in, and there's no competition. You're the only coffee shop. You're the only dry cleaner. You're the only fitness person. You're the only real estate person. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I can tell you one thing: you're going to have headaches because you're going to have too many problems, right? From clienteles and things like that. So that's what we have. On top of no competition, what if ABC News knocks on your coffee shop door and says, "Hey, listen, I've been hearing nothing but great things about your business. We would like to do a positive spin on it." Would it help you get a few more customers, even though we have no competition? Listen to me, folks. I saw that 12 years ago. All I've done to get to the top of this company is point, guide, direct someone to a video, and then I put them on the phone with somebody smarter than me. Can you do that? You need to enroll with the person that invited you to this webinar tonight, because that's how simple this business is. So that's the difference between direct and indirect antioxidants. So hopefully you understand the significance. Now, everything I've just said is peer-reviewed. And you don't know what peer-reviewed means? It's the most scrutinized way to get something completely validated by experts in that field of study. If one of those experts says, "Noni, noni, noni, I don't agree," it doesn't make it into the journal. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of universities now studying this new science that this incredible scientist created, that we have exclusivity Nobody can go out to a Walmart and buy an NRF2 activator. So hopefully you're starting to understand the significance of what I'm talking about. Now, one of those universities just came out and said, we may be on the verge of a new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Are you freaking kidding me? Do you think you can build a business with that alone? Folks, we've got 28 peer-reviewed published studies that helps you build your business. Think about this for a minute. Go open your kitchen cabinet when I get finished with you tonight, and open that cabinet, take one of those products, go to pubmed.gov and type in the name of that product in the search bar and see if there's 28 peer-reviewed studies on the product, not ingredients now. There's a lot of products that you're taking that the ingredients are studied. We're talking about the product. Huge difference between the two. It's patented now. You can see the 7 US patents down at the bottom of this screen. And it doesn't stop there, folks. I just don't have time to really talk about our entire products tonight. So we're producing this cutting edge NRF2 activated skincare, hair care, personal care, energy drinks, as well as scientifically formulated supplements so you can begin to feel better and to do more. And what's fascinating is next month, we have a new line of personal care products that are coming out that are CBD enhanced NRF2 body care, which that's going to be extremely exciting to be a part of. This is the company that's LifeVantage, that's headquartered just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. We're publicly traded, as I mentioned. So everything that's coming out of my mouth tonight cannot embellish. You can go to Yahoo Finance. The stock symbol is LFVN. Read what the street is saying about this company. Company is now debt-free. And who is steering the ship? It's governed by, board executives from Coca-Cola, Airbnb, Amazon, SC Johnson, and more. So the company is positioned to be in over 100 markets. Right now, we're in 23 markets, I believe. When I started, the company was only doing 3 million in sales when it was still in the GNC, and we only had one product, and we were only in the United States. So what my wife and I have seen in nearly these 12 years is grow from one country to 23 countries, from 3 million in sales to just under $250 million in sales, from 1 patent to 7 patents, 3 studies to 28 studies. And this company is just scratching the surface. Folks, what we're doing is we're laying down a foundation on what's about to happen in this country and abroad in the next few years. In the next few years, in my opinion, this is my opinion, every household in this country will now have heard of nutrigenomics, the activation of pathways. Listen to me on this statement. Taking antioxidants are going to be a thing of the past because we have figured out how to make them. Okay, so making the antioxidants is a better tool. It's safer and it's more efficient. You want to kill 1 million bad guys, you want to kill 1 bad guy at a time. And you've got to go to the National Institutes of Health to understand how significantly detrimental oxidative stress is to your body. And when you understand the significance of actually lowering oxidative stress, you're going to get as excited as all of us that are involved with this opportunity right now. So the company is positioned to grow. And in this industry, timing is everything. Like the real estate, it's location, location, location. Well, right here, see this little purple star right here? That is what we call critical mass. And that's by definition is when a company is doing 600 million in sales annually. Well, we're at $250 million, right? So we're somewhere right around here. We're not where the symbol is right here. We're probably right where this green line is right now. And this is what they say about critical mass. If you have 100 people in your network, it grows threefold. So it grows to 300. And then this next green line is what we call momentum. It grows eightfold. So when you get involved, in an opportunity, you want to get involved before the wave, not during the wave, and simply not after the wave, because it only happens once in a lifetime. So a company goes through critical mass once, momentum once, and then you can see it goes into what we call a stabilization phase. I call that a too late phase. Folks, we're not even here yet. So you want to get yourself a LifeVantage ID number, take that gas pedal and floor it like we have. It's very, very exciting to be on the forefront. And what's really fascinating, I wanted to put, this slide in and look at the date down here. This slide says, never in history have people ever been more concerned with their health. An increase of 60+% in wellness sales in the last 8 years, but it only goes to 2018. With this pandemic that we just witnessed last month, what do you think that number is now? Are you interested in your health? Absolutely you are. So what do you think this number is right now? We're separating ourselves from any other market out there. Everyone right now, the timing is right, especially from a financial standpoint, that people got beat up in 2020, right? So let's talk about level up your bank account with LifeVantage's opportunity, okay? How many people do you know have a side hustle? A side income that I was talking about at the very, very beginning of my presentation. You have friends that are driving Lyft or Uber, right? You have people putting their homes on Airbnb. People are making money on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Amazon. It's the side hustle, folks. We live in a gig economy. This is what I love about our opportunity. We don't have to show up. I don't have to use my car and, the maintenance behind it and have to go anywhere. This is a laptop lifestyle. I can operate my business from my phone, from my laptop. It's social sharing. No physical locations, no brick and mortar, right? Assets or inventory. It's online shopping portal. And that's what everybody wants as a side income. Remember, when I started, it was a side income. I just wanted to make $2,200 a month to keep my kids in private school and wait for that debacle to end, right? Now, there are a few ways of getting started with this opportunity. And if you own a business, your jaw's going to drop like mine did when I found out about these prices. My first health club that I bought back in 1987 was $500,000, right? This is absolutely no risk. There are 3 ways of getting started. All right. We get started with the pack. So you can get started for $350, $650, or $1,250. You're just buying product up front. And what's included in that pack is a starter kit. All right. The starter kit has some samples. There's no value to it at all. The value are in the packs because you have revenues that come with it. So it all depends on, what kind of savings you want. Do you want a 31% saving? Do you want a 33% or a 35%? I got the biggest bang for my buck, the $1,250 one time. It's a one-time investment. I got $1,900 in product. What am I going to do with all that product? I'm going to consume it. I'm going to sample it or I'll sell it retail. Remember, I'm buying that product for 35% below wholesale. So what we say to everyone, this is not a hardcore sales. You close, you get in where you fit in. Remember, it's a one-time buy-in. The 3 questions that I had was the cost of getting started. So I just told you $350, $650, or $1,250. The second question that I had is, how do I get my money back? If I came in on, which I did, the platinum pack, the $1,250, and I shared this with 3 of my buddies, which I did, I got my investment back in 38 minutes. Back then we had to literally write it on paper. I received a $400 commission, a one-time $400 commission on those 3 platinums. I just had 3 people that I wanted to travel with, have fun with, and make money with, and we were ready. So that's how simple it is to get your investment back. And the last question I had was, what's the cost of doing business? Just my payroll for that very first health club was $44,000 a month, not counting the rest of the bills, right? Just payroll. And I got tired of being paid last. I was tired of the brick and mortar. So this business opportunity, all you need to be able to maximize the entire compensation plan is have what's called 200 in personal volume. The definition of personal volume is the amount of products you're consuming plus your customers that you've got on the products as well. What's fascinating, when I found this out, I couldn't believe it, is you can actually offset your customers with that 200. So then I said, you mean to tell me that my minimum is a $50 a month investment and I can go out and get 150 in products, which equals 200 in PV? Yes, that's how simple that is. So it was an absolute no-brainer. Now, if you have less than 200, if you have 100 to 199, you're going to lose 10% commissions on ways you get paid. If you don't have 100, you're not getting paid. Remember, this is all about product. This is product driven. Customers are king. So there are literally 6 ways of making money. I'll just cover one because I know I'm probably behind in time right now. What really got to my wife and I, because we owned health clubs for 20 years, not one of those 20 years did we have a profit at the end of the year. We love the global revenue sharing. So when you hit what we call Pro 7, your business is doing 100,000 a month. And don't let that number scare you. You personally aren't doing 100,000. You could have 4 business partners that are doing 25 each. You can have 10 people on your team doing 10 each. You can have 20 people on your team doing 5,000 each. Now you're sharing in 1% of global sales. Every single product and every single market you're getting paid on. When you go to bed tonight in the Southern Hemisphere, that's Australia, Thailand, Taiwan, Japan, you're making money. So that's your first goal, is to get to that 7 elite rank. When you're an 8, you're doing 200,000 in revenues. You're going to share in another %. And by the way, that second quadrant is a little bit bigger than the first quadrant. There are just less people there. When you hit the 9th rank, now you're sharing in 3% of global sales. And that check is a little bit bigger than both of them put together. And then the Pro 10 pool, that's the Mac Daddy. You're sharing in 4% of global revenue sharing. What happens when we open that 24th country, that 25th country? Do you get a raise? Absolutely. Do you have to have a team in those countries? No. Is it monthly payout? Yes. So our compensation plan, we have the front end that pays weekly, and you have the back end that pays monthly. And it's all about leveraged income. What did J. Paul Getty say? He would much rather have been paid 1% of the efforts of 100 men instead of 100% of his own. So this is nearly 12 years I've been with LifeVantage. I'm still getting paid what I did the first month in the business, as long as those people I brought into the business is still on the product, and it grows exponentially. So it's fascinating. So I want to cover these, being publicly traded. I love this because this is our annual earnings disclosure statement. This is what we call the foundation rank, which is 5,000 in revenue. And this unlocks 2 ways in addition of getting paid. The average monthly is $626. So let me just ask you a simple question. Can you use an extra $600 a month? That's leveraged. If you keep that 5,000 in place, people are still buying the products. You're going to get paid $626 month after month after month. When I looked at the average income disclosure statement, I looked at the next one, which was Pro 5, because, I needed $2,200 a month. Back then it was only like 19 or 2,000. The company's growing, so the incomes grow, right? So Pro 5 is what your business is doing, 20,000 a month in revenue. What's 3,100 times 7? Times 12. That's a pretty good income part-time. And then if you get a little serious, so we're talking about part-time income, full-time income, or you can be talking about big time income. And that's what we're looking for all of you tonight, is to learn how to become a professional in this business. The Pro 7s, when you're earning 1% of worldwide revenues, the average income is $13,000 a month. I mean, what are you, in the top 4% of income earners in the country? And then look at Pro 8 underneath it, 25,000. Look at Pro 9s, 50,000, Pro 10s, nearly 100,000 a month. And don't let those numbers scare you. You start small and you learn how to perfect this industry, become a professional, work on yourself first, and the business grows exponential. This business is not about you. And always remember this, in this industry, you cannot get what you want until you help enough people get what they want. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a perfect meld. You have your own app, right, that we're populating right now with artificial intelligence. So most everything you can do with your smartphone. It's fantastic. It's like Amazon. You have a checkout system. There's no inventory. You're not carrying, pills and potions and all that kind of stuff in the back of your car like you did in generation 1 back in the 70s. This is generation 3. It's all high science. Now, can you do this? Look at the support you get. I was able to get to Master Pro 10, the top of this company, my first time in this industry, by following what you're looking at right now. Just be teachable and coachable. You have worldwide customer distributor support. You have the app with AI that I was telling you about. You can build your business from your phone. The business education that you're going to get, the skill set, mindset, and leadership training is bar none the best. The monthly marketing calendars, complete with professional graphics and compelling campaigns, will help you get your business off the ground. It's just a great system. And what I want to close with is never depend on a single income. What did Warren Buffett say a couple of years ago? If you're not making money while you sleep, you're going to be working for the rest of your life. Okay. So where do you go from here? If you need more information, get with the person that invited you. First thing I want you to do is thank them, because you have the right list of ingredients. You have exactly what they're looking for: credibility, integrity, large circles of influence, knows how to build a business. Or there might be a need. There might be some pains and desires and wants that you are looking for, and this will help you. If you're not 100% sold on the business right now, at the very least, become a customer and get on these category creating products. What I would recommend for all of you is get with the person that invited you, tell them that you want a LifeVantage ID number, because tomorrow night we are going to have another Master Pro 10 that will be sharing this incredible opportunity. Her name is Rachel Pekarik. She is a massive addition to this incredible company. And I'm telling you, she will rock your world. So with that said, my name is Master Pro 10 Gabe Pearson. Be on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's the same ID number. Rachel is going to blow your ever-loving mind. With that said, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being on. This is Gabe Pearson.